Hello! Welcome to episode 15 of I'm Not Confined, but I probably should be. Sit back, relax. It's time for Friday on the Couch. Right here, this couch, today, Friday, on the couch. Tonight, we're taking a look at another one of my favorite offbeat movies from the past. But let me just start by asking, how could a movie not be excellent with so many of the best character actors around in it? For those of you who may not know, a character actor is an actor who specializes in playing eccentric or unusual characters. And boy, do we have a lot of those in this movie. I mean, hey, it's on my face. What movie am I talking about? I'm talking about The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. Most people just call it Buckaroo Banzai. In this movie, we follow the adventures of the title character, Buckaroo Banzai. As he's a particle physicist, neurosurgeon, test pilot, secret agent, rock star. Right? And he has just perfected the isolation overthruster, a device capable of traversing the dimensional barrier, right? The overthruster, which was originally conceived by his mentor, Professor Hikita, and Akita's then partner, Dr. Emilio Lizardo, had been abandoned in 1938 when an accidental crossing into the eighth dimension by Dr. Lizardo left him possessed. No. Inhabited. No. Fused is the right word. With an alien dictator named John Worfen, who'd been imprisoned in the eighth dimension for making an attempt to conquer his planet, right? Buckaroo Banzai tests this overthruster on TV, and John Worfen sees it. He escapes from his mental institution he's been living in, and he plans to steal the device so he can free his imprisoned compatriots alongside of his other escapees from the eighth dimension and return to conquer their planet, right? Unfortunately, for Earth, the lawful government of that planet also find out about the overthruster and realize what Worfen's plan is going to be. So they extort Buckaroo Banzai to stop Worfen, or they'll cause the destruction of the Earth.
We will have no choice but to disrupt worldwide electronic communications and fire a particle beam weapon from your airspace to Smolensk in the Union of the Soviet Socialist Republics.
That's an action that the Kremlin will most certainly misinterpret as an American first strike.
Stop John Worfen before sunset. If you fail, we will be forced to help you destroy yourselves.
I'm not entirely sure Worfen was the bad guy when I really think about it. I mean, they seem perfectly willing to light the dynamite in the Cold War with no remorse. They didn't even try to ask. They just went straight to nuclear extortion.
Nuclear extortion.
Anyway, of course, Buckaroo Banzai steps up to make the save of Earth. There's also a nice but complex romantic subplot using a dead spouse and twin sister and switched at birth. For the most part, though, it's the cool slickness of the characters and the well-heeled action, not to mention some very over-the-top, and in a good way, performances that make this movie a success in my mind. Not everything hits for me, though. There are things that have nagged at me for years about this movie, and I've spent many hours trying to rationalize aspects that and even with that, there are things that I haven't come up with an answer for.
Like, why does an alien warlord speak with an Italian accent?
No, I know that one. That's why I said fuse before, because possessed isn't really the right word. But fused indicates that both of them exist at once. When Lizardo got out of the eighth dimension, his hair had changed color, his posture, his demeanor had changed. He'd even become kind of feral. But later we find out that he's still in possession of all the knowledge he had about the overthruster and the people that he worked with, on it, and he still has that broken Italian accent.
Don't you realize what you're saying? Your whole plan is going to be destroyed and you sit here wasting time.
And to me, that suggests that Lizardo is still in there. His mind still remains intact, even if it's subservient to the John Warfin's dominant personality. No, the issues that I've had, in no particular order, are the often running nature of the movie. I mean, like Star Wars, it's almost like they're trying to start with episode 4, but unlike Star Wars, we're kind of jumping into the middle of a story. I thought that this had been a long-running comic book before being made into a movie. But I found out the comic had a limited 3-issue run from Marvel to coincide with the release of the movie. So I had thought that there was this large backstory that people just knew from years, and so I accepted that this was just a story in the life of this guy, and I thought maybe one day I would go back and catch up. But it turns out that isn't the case. So I don't know why they never really give us any insight into the dynamics of this team. We get small little glimpses with the core guys being part of Buckaroo Banzai's band, the Hong Kong Cavaliers. But there also seems to be a larger network of employees and friends called Blue Blazer Regulars, and an even larger worldwide network of cohorts called the Blue Blazer Irregulars, which almost seems like they're fans.
Dad, Buckaroo's in trouble!
Say what?
Who will run out and lend a helicopter or their kid
Get him up!
to assist Buckaroo Banzai if they just get the call. Another issue along the same lines is the romance angle. Making Buckaroo a widower and never using any of that emotional baggage is really a shame. And it's a character type you really don't get to see very often in movies. So it would have been nice to have kind of really delved into it, to kind of delve into the emotions of his loss. But then they take it a step further and have him serendipitously run into his dead wife's long-lost twin sister, whom she never knew about and who never knew about her. And that just kind of strains credibility. I mean, even in a movie that's talking about dimensional travel and aliens and mind control, it's just I don't get it. Not to mention, it doesn't have anything bearing on the plot beyond a thrown-away conversation that Buckaroo literally cuts off before anything important comes up.
But that's over now. And she's gone, and that's about all there is really to say about that.
Hell, they aren't even in the same room when they're having the conversation. Why not just have her be someone new? Like I said, if there was some long character history here, and they did this as a fan service to say, okay, well, this was Peggy and now it's Penny, and isn't that just an interesting, something that they had, like the Skrull, they look like the same person, but they're not. Then I get it. But with a new piece of fiction, it just boggles me that they started in the middle like that. I don't know. Especially if they were going to use the emotional baggage. Also,
Why is there a watermelon there?
I'll tell you later.
what is the watermelon for? Come on! Years and years trying to figure out what the watermelon is for. I can't decide which is more maddening of a cliffhanger. The watermelon or...
But there's just one thing I want to know. How's that damn 3 seashell thing work?
Because I really want to know what each one of those things are. Things this movie gets right. This movie is a bundle of tropes, right? and that's not necessarily bad. Buckaroo is the ultimate Mary Sue, if you know what that is. He's got all these skills, and everyone loves him, and he seems to just know everything and be able to do everything. Unending skill and competence. That's, we're all just trailing along in the wash of his greatness. Which is fun in bite-sized pieces like this. But if you had like a larger story, a series or something, or more movies, you'd want to challenge him with a little bit more depth and, not necessarily being able to do everything right off the bat. But sometimes it's nice to just hang out with a rock star at the top of their game. Can't argue that. There was incidentally supposed to be a sequel. At the end, during the credits, flashed up on the screen that Buckaroo Banzai will return in Buckaroo Banzai against the World Crime League. But unfortunately, that never materialized. Where was I? Tropes, right. They have the switched at birth trope, the twin gambit, to keep, which in this particular case, it's been used quite a bit in this manner. It's a way to kind of keep the audience from getting too grief-stricken. If you can replace this beloved character with a duplicate proxy, it doesn't really give you the sads. They did something like they did this exactly in Beer Fest, where they replaced, Landfill with his brother Gil.
You're alive? No, I'm not Landfill. I'm Landfill's twin brother, Gil.
And they did a version in the Doctor Who story, The Silence in the Library, where they brought back River's song as a computer program. Of course, it also mutes the entire emotional effect of the loss in the first place if you bring the person back. But since this movie skipped the whole death and the emotional gravity of that, it's just the satisfaction of knowing that your hero gets the girl. Don't think too hard about the interchangeable nature of women in genre films, or the idea of him trying to get it on with his wife's sister. All right, now on to the tough stuff. The root cause of the conflict in this film is the struggle between the red and black Lectroids, which, in Star Trek fashion, is a thinly veiled reference to racism. When we see the aliens in their natural form, red, black, makes no difference. They seem pretty gross to us. In their human disguises, all the red Lectroids are played by white actors. All the black Lectroids are played by black actors. I'm sure this isn't a coincidence. And like that old episode of Star Trek with the aliens with the white on one half and black on the other half and black on one half and the white on the other half, the idea that their war is based on nothing but a slight difference in pigmentation is intended to seem so inconsequential as to make it seem, ludicrous. Until you stop and think about it and look out your front door. The script makes an interesting allegory as well for the idea that Earth is the unwilling third party in this war. Happier just to sit by and let the two sides figure it out. I don't want to be involved. I'm just okay over here. I think you both have good points. I think you both, But they're caught up just as much in the violence that any war carries in its wake. Earth and Buckaroo Banzai must choose a side. Do they assist the tyrannical madmen bent on subjugation and genocide? Or do they side with the unwavering but violent freedom fighters using intimidation to defend their homeland? Staying neutral wasn't an option for Buckaroo Banzai. His hand was forced. And sometimes a person has to be pushed into action with methods they don't like or approve of. I don't know if that subtext was intended, but it definitely shines through when watched through the context of our current events. So, on that charged note, let's reveal our opinions. I love this movie. Always have, always will.
I still don't understand why they were all named John.
Oh. That's a title. It's an honorific, like Mr. or Ms., but non-gendered, like MX. So when you hear John in their language, it isn't a name. It's it's what you say before a name. But really, who couldn't love a movie with names like John Big Booty or John Smallberries?
Big booty! Big tay!
John Smallberries.
You know, I never noticed the potential sexual connotation of some of those names until right now. I'm gonna have to go back and think about those names. John Endall, John Kent, John Parker, John Worfin, John O'Connor, John Yaya, John Parrott. Maybe it's just those two. Teddy, how about you? What'd you think?
I like the music. That scene at the end with the marching, that is good.
Yeah, that's kind of become an iconic scene. Often duplicated, never... Often imitated, never duplicated. Okay, so 6 out of 6. Thus, I guess this qualifies as awesome. It's also on the 1,000 movies you should see before you die list. And it's also number 43 on the 50 best cult films of all time list. So, it's not just me recommending it. It's great. It's a great movie. You should go see it. Time for Vox Squawks. And here's my hot take for this week. Can we please go back to video games costing $50 to $100? I'm fine with that. I am so sick of this revolution of free gaming. Oh look, Civilization 6 is free to play right now. Awesome! Only to find out that after 15 minutes you've reached the end of your free trial period. Please subscribe to the full version of the game for $19.99 a month. Or maybe you're playing another game and you finished one challenge or one fight and it tells you you've run out of energy and you need to wait 12 hours for your energy bar to refill. But if you'd like to play now, you can recharge with some screw-you-ium crystals. Screw-you-ium, by the way, is found in the store for 99 cents. And you need 5 screw-you-ium crystals to recharge your energy bar. I say the same thing about hidden fees in hotels or airlines or services. It's just ridiculous. Oh yes, sir. The deluxe package is great. And it's only $169 a night. That's great. Here's my credit card. I'd like to... hang on. We have to tally everything up before you can pay. Tally up? What do you mean? You just said the price was $169. The price is $169. But that's not how much it costs. Do you mean tax? Oh, no. Let's see. We have $10 usage fee. Usage fee? What's the $169 for? Oh, that's an occupancy fee. $15 a day parking fee. I'm parked at a meter on the street. The fee is for the space whether you use it or not. It is held for you, so you pay for it. $5 room service fee. I don't plan to use any room service. It's included. Oh. So $5 and I can get anything on the room service menu that I want? No, oh no. $5 is for having room service available to you. Each item is individually priced. And 75 cents for the complimentary morning paper. If it's complimentary, why is it 75 cents? It is presented to you with the compliments of the property. Can I opt out of that? I don't read the paper. Yes, you can. I'll just refund the 75 cents and charge you the $1 restocking fee. And with tax, that comes to... Oh, would you like to see our menu of disincluded optional extras, such as pillows, television, and hot water? You see? It's out of control, and I don't like it. Pick a price, Don't bait and switch me. I think people will pay the money, and your customer service interactions will be much less contentious, even if the price is higher. Bottom line, give me the information up front, full price and conditions, and if I like what you're selling, we can do business. Don't dick me around. I'm looking for entertainment in my games, not constant microtransactions and a pay-to-win model. Ugh. All right. Well, there you have it. Vox Squawks is all done. Friday on the Couch is all done. Episode 15 of I'm Not Confined, but I Probably Should Be is all done. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next week right here on the couch. Good night.